know what you do, bro.
Shit, what I do? Shit, like
Who you is?
Shit, who I is? You gotta look me up, you find me. Google me, you gonna find out. My name's Jaffer Ali. Look me up at Really Jaff. Do a little bit of everything. I'm your favorite person's nobody. So when businesses need help, when brands need brand doctor, this is who they call. And we make something happen.
Yeah, see the 2 phones too.
Chill.
Nah, that's real, bro. Yeah, me and my guy having a great combo. Basically was asking him, I feel like he about to spit something for us, because you know he really advancing this shit. When it comes down to like what's the separating factor now, like, you know what I'm saying, once you have that foundation built, how do you take it to the next level? Like, and we're out here in California, bro, we see a lot of people with money, and money ain't everything, but it is a lot, you know what I'm saying, and you want to get as much of it as you can while you can. So I'm gonna let my man break it down, like what's really gonna take you to that next level. So yeah,
I mean, like Floyd says, you can't do anything without spending money. So obviously money isn't everything. It doesn't make you who you are, but like you gotta have it at the end of the day.
right.
But for sure, like what you were saying, like being surrounded by this now, especially out here, like you see so much crazy stuff. So a big portion of it, you get it gets diluted, but also too, you kind of just get phased out from this stuff.
Like the valet at the gym.
I'm valeting, bro. Like when I'm in Newport, bro, I'm valeting. Like I literally had a whole day and I had to think and reflect because one of my homies was with me from out of town.
Yeah.
I valeted at the gym in the morning. We go get coffee at Lido in Newport. I valeted over there to get Hearst coffee, and then we go to Spectrum. I valet again.
Yeah.
And then
that's just normal,
bro. Yeah. And then like obviously too, like shout out to all the valet people. Like they know me, they cool. Say what's up, give them a little. You feel me?
Right.
But he was like, bro, who are you? Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
So I think there's for sure that aspect of it, but I like the nice life, bro. Like that's why I like the bread. I know I enjoy that stuff.
Right.
Does it make me for everything that I am? No, but like, who doesn't like nice shit?
Yeah.
So that's where like, I think an aspect of having that for sure is cool. So you got to be able to. I think it's all in the balance area.
Right.
Same shit with the people. Same shit with the people you meet. Like you got to be able to like stay within the middle. Whether it's like, okay, you having all the nice stuff, but hey, can you still go thug it? Can you do without it? Can you do this? Can you do that?
Yeah.
And the same with the other people. Like, hey, if I'm meeting some dude and he's doing like a $50 million deal, but it's like, hey, you're still treating that same person the same as you're treating the janitor.
Yeah.
How do you go about that?
But see, a lot of people lose that shit, especially out here. You kind of notice it, like,
100%.
Bro, it's like people be acting like assholes, bro, to people who
Bro,
are
for
like
sure.
just day-to-day workers. I'm like, I feel like that's just how you raise someone. I was never taught to like look down upon, you know what I'm saying, people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you hit the nail on the head though, like, bro, like, as someone who just recently started touching a little bit more money, in no way am I rich at all, but just started touching a little bit compared to like not having anything for the majority of my life, like, bro, yeah, don't ever let nobody tell you that, like, you know what I'm saying, the poverty shit or not having anything is better, bro, because it's a lie, bro.
No, it's a lot
You
better.
enjoy the soft life too,
Bro,
like, it's nice
yeah, feel me?
getting
It's
fucking
nice.
$11
And,
matchas and
bro,
shit,
exactly,
bro.
$11 matcha, bro, it's $138. We would be hard working right now, but we over here politicking. It's nice, bro. Like, take a look around. Like, it's not no Section 8 stuff. Shout out to all my homies still thugging in the SA, but like, enjoy this shit. Like, you working hard for the nice benefits of life, and I think that's the biggest thing too. Is that, hey, money is not gonna make you, but it's gonna expose who you are. It's all the training that came through. Hey, how were you raised? Do you treat people a certain way? Do you really think you like your shit don't stink? At the end of the day, there's some people who get some clout and get some money and start thinking they top of the world and be running game.
Yeah.
So I think it really exposes who you are initially. It doesn't make you into something, or money doesn't change you or whatever. It really just exposes you.
Yeah, that's valid. Also, too, I wanted to ask you, because I've been trying to do a better job lately, and me and Cade was talking about this earlier. It's kind of what we're doing right now, just like, not like on some forced, like corny way of like networking, but I'm like someone who's always been kind of like introverted, like to myself, like whatever, but I've noticed like the amount of benefits that you get just from striking up conversations, bro, with people is like insane. And even like going out the way to like grab coffee with somebody, pick their brain, see what they know, super beneficial. How has networking served you, especially in areas, you know, like this, and going into that future step of life where it's like a lot of times people are like, it is really just all who you know. You know, have you seen that be like the truth for you as well, or what's your thoughts?
I mean, that's a huge part. Like for me personally, everything I have success-wise is all due to the people I keep myself around.
Yeah.
So that's why, hey, I moved down here. I'm in the mix. I pay the extra bread to go to Equinox. I pay the extra bread to go here. I pay the extra bread to go there.
Facts.
That's why, hey, 2 phones, conversation starter every time. Watch, protect every time you get stopped for it.
Yeah.
Tats, car you drive, all this stuff. I figured out at an early age what are going to be conversation starters, and how I can get around certain people and sort of assimilate to start making those connections in that sort of areas. Hey, if I'm at Motor Miami and I'm sitting next to some rich dude, this lady happened, this dude was like maybe like 60, 65. We both had the same AP on.
Yeah.
And anyone else might have, I'm not going to talk about it, whatever. I strike up conversation like, oh, how do you like Motor, blah, blah. Have you been to Monterey Car Week? So I have some knowledge of like what's going on.
Right.
Oh, sick watch, by the way. Dude introduces himself, has a fucking $1 billion tech company. He's out here for the weekend. Yeah. He just bought a new Ferrari F50. It was a red one that was out front. Yeah. So he's out here. He's like, oh, I'm waiting for my wife. She's in the bathroom. We start conversating. Boom, next thing you know, like I see him at Monterey Car Week that like following year.
Yeah.
Striking up these conversations. And I think a lot of people get too, I think pride and ego get in the way. For sure, as you go up. Like even some people, just how my man's hit me like, hey Jack, pull up, we're gonna get some matcha in this politic. Yeah. Some people might just be like, oh, I don't want to DM bro, oh, I don't want to hit bro up. He might think I'm a fan or whatever. I think if you can put your pride and ego to the side, like the cost of embarrassment is like what's holding your success. A lot of people, hey, I'm too good to be selling this, I'm too good to be doing that, blah, blah. But that's what's holding you back from reaching that next level, you feel me?
Yeah.
But I think networking for sure is out there. You gotta be out there. You got to put yourself out there. You got to be known, like you said, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatever. You putting the content everywhere.
You got to play the content.
You got to play the content. And at the end of the day, like you got to be known to do business. Yeah. If I don't put out that, hey, this is what I'm doing and this is what is following from all the results, people aren't going to know that. Right. Especially in our line of work too. For me, on the firm side, if people don't see the testimonials and see the success and see the stories, why would I want to come work with you? I don't even know you exist, kind of thing.
Right.
So that's where you got to show like, hey, what's going on? Here's how I'm doing things. You don't got to give all your free sauce away, but at least show the people that, because then also too, I think people have a certain emotional connection with you, and you might see this too when you show the behind the scenes of the stuff.
Right.
People maybe you ask, hey, do you guys like this garment? Do you guys want this ounce? And now people feel emotionally tied to that. You feel me? That piece. Right. You drop that piece, they running and grabbing it every time.
Yeah.
So I think that goes hand in hand with the networking and just knowing how to play the game with that.
Definitely. I'm man preaching right now. Yeah, no, that's facts. Because I was literally just reading some shit the other day. They was talking about like Tesla versus Edison. You know, when it came to like making the light bulb, and, like it was like Tesla was like a much better scientist and all that, but like he didn't spend no time in public or whatever. He just really focused on his craft, which is great. But when we in school, who do we learn about? We learn about Edison. You know what I'm saying? Even though he wasn't even the one tinkering with shit, he just sponsored the labs. He was talking to all the rich people. You know what I'm saying? He had everybody kind of like the publicity and the media on him. And it's like, it's not, the point of that is not to like steal somebody else's shit, you know, but the point of it is like, you know, you have to position yourself in a way to receive the rewards and the benefits for what you're doing. He didn't even discover a lot of shit, but his name was on the building. He got the credit. Tesla did a lot of shit, but I mean, he died unfortunately like broke and like, you know what I'm saying? Barely anybody remembers him. I think that's like that shows, especially now in 2025, like that really displays like, you don't got the content and the branding, it's like, I don't know. I think it's
everything too,
bro.
And I think especially like you got to simulate to the times. Content's not going anywhere.
It's not.
People want to be able to understand you, understand your story, see what's going on, and you posting daily stories, or even that's why I think streaming is so big now, is that instant sort of gratification of me getting to see you and your element in all its glory.
You can ask a question, they respond right
away.
Like,
So that's building that personal connection more than anything. That's why, hey, I do social media, I post the stories, I do this, I do that, you ask, you interact, you have the communities. So that's where I think you got to be a median in that, where it's, hey, I'm doing my own craft, but hey, I'm also in the mix, I'm known in the space, I'm doing the content, I'm doing all that. But hey, at the same time, you're perfecting your craft, you're putting in your 4 hours of work every morning, whatever it is, and locking in. But it's got to be a mix of both. You can't do one or the other.
Yeah. Damn, my man just took, bro. Nah, that was real, bro. That was real.
We gonna keep politics.
I think that was a crazy 10-minute span, bro.
Like, what else? I mean, why don't you tell me more about what's going on with your side on the brand?
Just building, bro. I mean, me and Kay, like I said, been running to LA. I've been going to LA like 3 times a week, different menus, but overseas is cool, bro. Like, it's very efficient and convenient when you can order some shit off Alibaba or whatever. And it's like shit just goes to your door, like super convenient. Like I'm in my fucking underwear, I open the door, all my shit's there. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm overly chilling, right? But it's like I'm finding it harder to market because you can't really tell a story as much when it comes completed. You know,
For
so
sure.
I think going along and to LA and to these menus and try to take some trips out this summer to Japan, possibly Portugal too, to see some other menus and shit. It's like really being able to showcase that. And like you said, like you hit the nail on the head. Like obviously you got experience in this shit. Like having people tag along, bro. You know what I'm saying? In the journey, I feel like is what's special. And I think that's what's going to let us really get to that next level, bro. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
'Cause I don't know, like the ads and shit are cool, but we all know like the brands, like there's more new brands every day. Like what's going to separate you? That cost of acquiring a customer is going to keep going up.
Yeah.
The more brands there are, and if you take TikTok away, as of right now, it's like, bro, the cost of getting a customer is going to
100%.
skyrocket.
And now with more and more people coming in every single time.
100%. So it's like, what's going to be your angle? Like that's what my thing has been like past couple months. Like, what's your angle in life? What's your angle in business? And I feel like when you have an angle, bro, God will lay down that red carpet for you.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's still going to be highs and lows, but I feel like it's easy to follow your own path when you got your own angle, you got your own shit. You're not trying to really jock anybody else's shit.
Yeah.
Like we was talking about even with the courses, like, yeah, like that can shorten your learning curve, but at the end of the day, that was his story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? His story ain't gonna be the same as your story, ain't gonna be the same as my story. Like we all gonna have to get to it differently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think us being able to really like go to LA, manufacture, showcase it, document it all, get people's opinions, show people like the fabric, the way like every single thing, like be super transparent, and then of course on top of that like the photo shoots and all that shit on the back end plus ads. It's like I think that's really like hidden every corner. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of dudes like documenting stuff. Like there's some, especially in the South, like Atlanta dudes, whatever, but there's not a lot of people really like, you know, doing this shit. But like you also said, it costs money, you know what I'm saying, to earn more. You know what I'm saying? Like paying my man a good chunk of change, but the quality and like everything that he's doing even right now is like I couldn't do it by myself.
Yeah, and that's what separates you though.
Yeah,
But that's
I'm
what
willing to pay that.
Exactly, you're willing to
Yeah.
pay that. But a lot of people too, hey, I'm too cheap. You got to understand that. Hey, you got to pay to play.
Yeah.
This is what's going to separate you. Now someone might see your backstory or might see this.
Right.
Hey, I might resonate with this guy more than I might resonate with someone else. This is why I'm going to buy his brand over someone else.
Right.
Versus like, hey, another person's brand, I might just see the cool ad. Yeah, that's a cool little piece. But hey, if someone has brand loyalty to you,
Right.
whatever you put out, you're going to be green. And I think that's where I've done a good job with that on my own, but also like I credit that to a lot of other people too, that hey, if you build your own name, Kanye's great at this too. Anything you throw out now, you're gonna be crazy breaded out.
Yeah, they Adidas.
You seen the
sued Ye
shoes he
for-
put out?
Yeah, but you see they sued last year they sued Ye for $100 million or
Oh,
something
yeah.
for the marketing. He's
Yeah.
like, I am the marketing.
Yeah,
like
he is.
there is no the budget
Bro, and then
goes.
he put out some shoes today,
Yeah,
released some
made two-
orthopedics, some crazy
made
all black
2.5,
payless shit,
bro.
2.5.
Yeah.
And he's showing the numbers, he's showcasing
He
that.
dropped it the same day. No
No,
promo,
nothing.
Yeah.
And he just does that. And that's in 2025 he's doing this. And where I realized that was really big was when Kanye was selling Gildan stuff for the Life of Pablo stuff.
Yeah.
It was like 2016. And at that time, like I was on that clothing brand, I was doing the same Gildan stuff. I know this stuff costs 12 to 15 bucks.
Yeah.
He was selling those Gildan lawsuits for 100, bro.
Yeah.
Doing a pop up in New York, LA, whatever. So that's where I seen that, hey, quality, yeah, is one part of it, but the biggest thing is the name.
Yeah.
You see that with all the designer, Balenciaga, LV, Dior, like all that. And you see that too from the fashion side. Hey, I could literally make something quality-wise even better,
Right.
but without the name and the branding and the backstory, all the lore, I can't sell this jacket for 15 bands, 12 bands, 3 bands, whatever.
Yeah, that's valid. Yeah, now the perception and the name is everything, and you know I'm willing to go. Like obviously, like the money is important and shit, but I'm willing to invest and really like invest in people and invest in places, and if it takes a little bit longer, but you know I can actually build up a community. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm willing to do, and I feel like that's, you know, that's valid right now. But yeah, I think having that branding, bro, is insane. Is insane because I even think like last year, like I really would just stretch so far, pause, because I was the one man doing everything, and it's like I kind of got off the content, and it's like I feel like I could feel that in the sales, but I also could feel that just like in people like not being as tapped in.
Yeah.
Compared to where if you're posting every day, sure, like you got the same shit. Like people be DMing you every day, like, yo, thank you for helping me with this. Like, because you helped me with this, I just bought something from you. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you're providing value for people, bro, and like people in turn they'll buy from you. They'll rock with you, and I think it's just like this synergistic thing that just keeps going. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what makes it special. So that's what really we're trying to run. Just like plotting right now, next 2 months, and then really starting in March, like dropping shit. So we're really just fucking blueprinting everything right now, kind of moving slow motion. But yeah, bro, I'm super excited, bro, for sure.
No, most def. And I think too with the social media stuff too, a lot of people just forget how wide that reach is. Bro. Like who's really seeing your content?
Celebrities,
bro,
you don't know who watching.
You never know who's watching, and that's where I think people get, and myself included too. You might see 100 likes, 200 likes, or whatever, and might just get like, oh man, I'm not even gonna post no real no more.
Shit,
But at the end of the day, you're right too. Like I got people reaching out to me, hey, I've done this, or hey, I started this business because you're doing this, or I purchased this, blah blah blah.
Right.
And I think that's where I get that satisfaction that hey, I'm glad that hey, this content is doing something.
Right.
So it's not only that, but I think more on the business side too, like for you too, and this goes to all clothing brand owners. Like I was thinking about it too, like, hey, I could drop this hoodie, someone could drop the same thing, but what am I really selling? Right. And that's what really separated me and for my clothing brands was that I'm selling not just the hoodie, but I'm selling the social status. That hey, the brand you tapped in now, and people buying the one-offs or the exclusive stuff. I always have people DMing me or texting me or like people taking photos of one another in the gear, sending it to me like, oh, this person tapped in. Or people come up to me like, bro, I pulled up at a party, had 10 of the HUDs pull up like, oh, you know Jaff, blah, blah, you wearing the gear, how'd you get that one? This and that. So now people feel not only the sense of community, but also that social status that, hey, I'm exclusive, you feel me in this? So that's where I think for clothing brand owners too, or even any business, sure, it's not just the good you're selling, like, yeah, okay, you might just be selling this matcha, but if it's got the branding on it, like what Community Goods is doing, and you're showing that, hey, it's the Community Goods road exclusivity, like, exactly, and you getting it in LA, like, now that's where it's not just the product, because someone else can go make the same matcha. But it's, hey, it's what's the name, the branding behind it, the social status, how do you make someone feel about the product, you feel me? So that's where I think a lot of people overlook that step and just think like, hey, I always got to put out the greatest clothing. Someone else can match the quality. It's more about, hey, the social status you're doing and the branding, the name, all that stuff.
No, for sure. I'll end it off on that because I don't know if it was me and Kate or me and EA was talking about the same shit. Like, bro, like you can't really...
shout out my man EA real quick. Bro, shout out my man EA.
Shout out to EA
shout
bro,
out
right
EA.
now, especially in times like this, for
shout
sure, bro. That's my bro. But yeah, it's like, in today's age, you can't really separate yourself on the actual garment, bro. Like, unless you're maybe like hand stitching the shit yourself in your room, you know, and it's like,
and even then, bro, someone's gonna copy you at some point.
Even then, yeah, somebody could. These bigger brands, that's all they do is look for smaller brands and just snatch it and then reproduce it. So it's like, you really can't separate yourself on the actual physical product. It's like, once again, what is the perception? You know what I'm saying? What is the name? Like, he gave the matcha example. That's perfect. Like, Community Good. Shout out to Community. I was just there 2 days ago. Like,
you stood in that line, bro?
Nah, I didn't. It was empty.
It was empty because of the fires, huh?
Low key, yeah. Like, the matcha's cool, bro. But like, for them hour-long lines, like, shout out to Pedro, the owner. Like, it's cool. I fuck with it. I respect him. But it ain't that cool. You know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
all marketing. It's all marketing. Nothing's ever that great, life-changing. You can see that all the businesses, all the restaurants, whatever. It's all just the marketing. How you make someone feel the experience in it, blah, blah, whatever. And also, too, what's trending. People want to be like everybody else. If I see 100 people post up this new brand, I'm going to be like, oh,
low-key a genius marketing thing. You drive by, you see 100 of these waiting, you like, damn.
And that's where these designer stores took that same, why do you think they make you stand in line? COVID's done. There's no more masks and all that. They don't need 6 people inside of a store. They make you stand in line because now, hey, if someone drives by, okay, that store's popping. So now, like, oh, fuck, I gotta get tapped in. And then now, hey, if you stand in line, say you stand in line for 30 minutes or an hour, you get inside like, damn, I just
gotta buy something.
I gotta buy something. No, so that's where, like, people gotta understand, like, business is all psychological. It's all like, hey, what resonates with this person? Certain colors will get your mind to certain things, attract to certain things. So definitely understand how the mindset works in terms of like what makes people want to buy, what makes people want to act on certain things, and that's really going to set you up for success. All right, so what were we talking about? We were talking about like, perception and everything?
Yeah, we're talking about flash versus like perception. Like, do the real like flashy things and materialistic things, does it actually matter, or is it just for like ego?
Okay, I think it depends on who you are.
Right.
And it depends on where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
For me, obviously I like the nice stuff, but I think everything's a conversation starter.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to assimilate or get in touch to top CEOs, blah, blah, you got to walk how they walk, talk how they talk, dress how they dress. You got to look the part.
Right.
So especially, look at us. Tatted, young, getting right. So they're not you already got strikes against you. So I think it's all about how you present yourself. When I'm going to Pelican Hill, all these nice places.
Pelican, shout out to
See, come on, that's a spot.
Yeah.
Go to Pelican, I'm coming correct. Laura Piana, stuff like that. Hermes slides, blah, blah, whatever. You got to put yourself in the right place to sort of get the game. Because if I'm not coming correct, say I'm talking a certain way or blah, blah, whatever, these audiences are not going to want to talk game.
Right.
So I think it's a degree of perception and working with what you got.
Yeah.
And also, too, hey, you might take the gamble on it. I don't recommend this, but when I was 19, bro, like, I was getting some money, blah, blah, I was moving. This is when I was selling hoodies out the dorm room. Like, bro, like, front desk used to hate me. 50 Gildan boxes show up one day.
Yeah.
I'm putting all this shit in the dorm room, Gildan boxes from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Bleaching them in the dorm bathroom like I was getting it. And at this time, too, shout out my pops, like, he was telling me about perception and understanding the game and blah, blah. And I had a Dodge Challenger at that time. 22s on it, matte black.
I can't even do the Dodge because it's the stereotype.
It's a stereotype, bro. And at that time, like, I was getting pulled over by the ops all the time, bro. Tinted windows, 212s, JL audio on the back, jumping.
Yeah.
And then my pops, at the time, bro, this is right when the Hellcat dropped. I was like, I'm finna go get that.
Yeah.
And my pops was like, bro, like, if you really serious about this business, and at that time I was going to U of A and staying at the nicest building with all the other, like, kids. These kids come from elite families, top Canadian shit, Chicago, New York, like, they're all Nepo babies. Right. And I'm paying that extra little bread to stay in there because I know I want to be in that mix.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, why would you want to go get the Hellcat? It's not going to look any different from your car.
Yeah.
So that's where I was like, all right, what would make sense? Came across the Range Rover. My pops had a few at that time. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go get the Range, you feel me? Get a brand new Range. I bought that shit. And at that time, bro, I think I had like 38 bands in my account. Wasn't even no bread like that. And I think I went to go look at it, and there was like a nicer model, and I was like, fucking, I'm just go get that shit.
Right.
Went to go get it. It's my first big boy purchase. They wanted 36 bands down.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here like, fuck, bro, like, that's pretty much everything I got. And I was telling my pops, I'm like, bro, like, what if this shit don't work out?
Yeah.
He was like, bro, you young enough right now. Like, hey, if you fall on your face, you can figure it out. Like, when you get older, you got fam, you got kids, you can't take that risk.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, if you really believe in what you're doing and you believe in yourself to really market that, and you think this is really gonna help, then hey, take the gamble. Yeah. So this is where I don't recommend. But I wrote the check for the 36 grand, boom, paid the down payment, and I was leasing that shit, or whatever. I was financing it. I think it was like $1,100 a month, and I was like 19. I was like, fuck, we just gonna ball. But bro, I was out of town. I think I was in Miami at that time at a 10X conference, Grant Cardone, and the Range was getting delivered to my apartment in Arizona. Called up Shotty's like, hey, go pick up the Range.
Right.
So I had like 4 girls downstairs in the tow truck. The shit was getting delivered.
Yeah.
Bro, all the girls is attracting obviously all the attention.
Crazy, yeah.
Bro, so all the girls pulling their phone out, blah blah. I had the tow truck driver coordinate with one of the girls. More and more people coming, just lining up, seeing like, what was, bro, it was going crazy. I seen this shit on Snapchat and other Instagram stories before I even got photos from the tow truck.
Yeah.
So then everyone's talking like, oh, who's this, blah, blah, whatever. All the girls are telling everyone it's mine. Fly back to Arizona after being in Miami, and like, everything's going crazy. I got girls coming up to me like, oh, my pops does this. All these other homies coming up like, bro, I'm trying to buy gear now. I'm trying to get with you, blah, blah.
Right.
And that just opened the door for everything. Because then now people see the affiliation of like, this is where I think brand associating is the greatest thing you can do.
Yeah.
Say if you always wearing Hermes or some rich homie shit, people are gonna start assuming, like, associating you with that brand.
Yeah.
So now me having a Range Rover, brand new shit, getting delivered, blah, blah, the whole experience, people really started moving me with these brand associations.
Yeah.
Now that's where these girls are coming to me, hey, I want you to meet my dad. This girl introduced me to her pops. Pops is Forbes 100 Fortune. Like, I think he was the number 2 exporter of like athleisure out of Canada.
Yeah.
So I got on a call with him, and it was literally just because I started having the Range.
Right.
Sure, okay. Some of these people might be like, oh, it's materialistic, blah, blah,
It's
blah.
like for clout, but
It's the name of the game. at the end of the day, like if someone already has a lot going on, it's more of a risk for them to like do business with you or put you on if they don't know you're sort of worthy or can understand and can operate in that sort of space.
Yeah.
But now if little shawty sees me, oh, this guy's got the range, he's got the watch, he's got this, he stays here.
Right.
Now I equalize the playing field. And that was the biggest thing for me, was that I'm not a Nepo baby. I don't come from the same thing that you guys come from.
Right.
So that's where I have to have stuff to equal the playing field.
Yeah.
So now, hey, if I have the range, I have the watch, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm going to Dubai, like it levels the playing field. So now we're equals.
Yeah.
So now that's where they're going to start putting me on with opportunities
That you wouldn't have.
that I wouldn't have prior.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now that's where people are introducing me to these connections, because now that, hey, I can trust Jaff in this sort of aspect and realm, because he's already got some motion going on. He's not just going to burn me, or he doesn't know how to act in that sort of space.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest part too.
Yeah. I mean, just cook. I don't even got no. Yeah, that was crazy. That
told
was
you, man.
crazy. I feel like I just found my long lost brother. Me and this
Come
dude
on,
think
man.
the same
Come on,
way,
man.
bro.
Come
That's
on.
funny as hell.
Come on.
And that was real.